Hello my subscribers and fellow YouTubers. Today's video is going to be strictly for those of the religious persuasion. Even the ones that would be considered open-minded and non-discriminating. I want everybody who has a faith, an idea, and a religion to watch this video. So to all my atheist subscribers, I'm sorry, but today is strictly for the religious people today. But don't worry, you guys aren't out of the woods. I am actually working on a video where I speak directly to all the fellow atheists of the world, because I love atheists. But anyways, it doesn't matter what religion you are, what whether you believe in what you call it, a God or Buddha or Allah. Doesn't matter who you believe in. But in order to make this make sense, just whenever I say God, just put your deity or your higher power, whatever's name, in that place, so that I don't have to say every single name as I go through it. But I was talking to a friend of mine, beautiful person, and she's religious. She believes in God. And I was talking about a big topic within all religions, and that is what is the will of the one you believe created you, or what is the will of the deity or the higher power that you believe in. And this is what I told her, and I wanted to read it to you guys. I told her that God's will, meaning put your God's name in there if it's not God, if you believe in something else. God's will is to live and to make your own choices, to follow your heart and your mind, and to protect the earth. To not be afraid to make mistakes in your life so that you can learn and so that others can learn from your mistakes. Your God gave you a free will for a reason, so that you can live. What kind of creator or God would give you a free will in your own life if he would condemn you for living it how you want, like he intended, or she? Me personally, this is what I told her, I've never wanted to be around people who think the same as I do, because to me, when people think the same way, to me that kind of cancels things out. I like to be around people who think differently, or sometimes even opposed to mine, because what does that do? It doesn't reinforce me into only understanding what I understand. It opens me and frees me to learn, okay, well maybe what I thought before isn't so right. And it gives me a chance to explore and understand and say, I need to change that. That needs to be, that's not right. That is wrong. I'm glad I took the time to explore this other area and other truth and other idea, because it shows me how wrong I was on that certain viewpoint. And there are other people who can learn from you. And so that's why I even gave her an example. Because if somebody's only around people who discriminate like them, then all that's going to do is it's going to tell them, okay, these people, they all discriminate like I do, so then it's a good thing, that's the way we need to believe. And it just reinforces a negative. It reinforces a wrong, because you're all coming together and you're all talking about what's wrong. But when you're around someone who doesn't discriminate, that opens you, and it shows you discrimination is wrong. And that's why I like being around other people who believe differently than what I do. And then I went on to say, discrimination, that is not God's will. God's will is you, is pretty much what I told her, and your life. It took me a long time to know this truth. If you only ever have one answer in your life, then you only experience one small portion of happiness and understanding in this world, in what this world has to offer. I don't see God or the Bible the way that many people do, or the way I was raised to, because to me, I saw the flaws, and I was willing to open myself to other things. Nothing anybody ever tells you in your life is God's will. God's will is only for you to know. Because, like I've said many times, I don't believe there's anything wrong with faith and a belief in God. But what God is in your heart. And anything anybody else believes is in their heart. God is what you believe him to be, a filler of the void, a thought of peace, the feeling of love. That's God. He is not a book or what a pastor or a rabbi or a priest speaks about. A real God does not discriminate and does not condemn people to a hell for being what he created them to be, and for having the free will he gave them in the first place. When we all die, and I see all of you in the hereafter, you will be amazed how much where you thought you were going is nothing like what anybody on this planet ever told you it was. Where you will be is what you desire the most. That is the real heaven. That is the real hereafter. And so then after all that, I bet there are many of you that are saying, okay, Tom, then tell us, are you an atheist or do you have a religion? Do you believe in a God or do you not believe in a God? Do you believe in the supernatural or do you not believe in the supernatural? And I've had many Christians and people of other religions and atheists ask me this question, whether I have a belief or a faith or not. And I will give all of you the same answer I gave them. What I believe in, are you ready for this? What I believe in is what makes you happy. Whatever brings you your peace, whatever brings you your happiness, whatever gives you comfort, whatever you believe in that gives you the comfort and the security to be able to say, I'm ready to die, or I'm not afraid of death, or I'm not afraid to be alone, is what I believe. That is what I believe. And that's how I'm going to answer that question, and that's how it's going to end. That is what I believe. If you believe in a God, then your God is my God, because it brings you your peace. If you don't believe in a God, and you're an atheist, and you rely on science and everything, then that's what I believe too. And you say, well, how can you believe those two things at the same time? It's very simple. It's very simple. I just do. That's how I do it. Because I understand science. I know what science says. I know the truth behind biology and the backup of evolution. I know all those things. But I also know what brings people peace and what can, cause people to do, can cause some people to do good things. And so, and don't sit here and say, don't, try to say, oh, well, then he believes only religious people can do good things. Wrong. I don't believe that either. Because I've seen many of atheist people and non-believers, as you would call them, who do wonderful things, wonderful charity, who help make this world a better place. And so that's what I believe. That is my answer to that question. And some of you may not be satisfied with that, and I'm sorry that that may not satisfy you, but I'm not going to change it, because to me it brings us all together, and it brings unity, and it brings understanding. And whenever I have a belief about something, and because I'm open to everything, I can sit there and I can see, no, that one was wrong. I maybe should rethink on that one. And in many religious groups, that's happened as history's gone through, because there are certain religions that think it's okay to beat children, to beat your wife, to own your wife, to discriminate, for slavery. And nowadays we know those things are wrong for a fact. We know they're wrong. And how do we know they're wrong? Because there were people down through history who opened their mind, who bucked against what everybody was reinforcing, the negatives that they were reinforcing, and said, hey, wait a second. I'm going to think for myself. And you know what I just realized? Slavery's wrong. Beating your children is wrong. Beating your wife is wrong. And that's why we're at where we are today. And some people would say, oh, this is the end times, you can see all the... And yeah, there are some bad things in this world, because there are people who make mistakes and do wrong. But it's a lot better, if you ask me, in my opinion, it's a lot better than what we were doing back when we were beating people and putting people in slavery and all that other stuff. Even though in some places of the world that stuff still happens, because in those areas people are still reinforcing the negatives. But, so yeah, like the title of the video, religiously speaking, That's what I wanted to talk to you all about. That's what I wanted to help you all to understand. And I hope it makes sense. And if y'all have any questions, feel free. Send me a comment and tell me. Ask me your questions. I want to know. Tell me what you think, because I want to know. Peace.